Hey everybody, how are you tonight? Dr. Stephanie Stroud with Cornerstone's Pet Tip of the Week. Hey, tonight we're going to talk about a specific disease that I always think about this time of the year because it's one of those things that is brought up for awareness in November, even though it's now December, but it's also the time of the holidays. And around the holidays, we tend to eat a lot ourselves. A lot of them are sweets. We also very much tend to give our pets food that can contribute to this disease. And so the disease I want to talk about tonight is diabetes mellitus. A lot of people, it's the same disease that affects us in humans when we're talking about diabetes. So there's different diabetes, but this one is specifically the one we're talking about where the blood sugars are really high and you need insulin to supplement it, okay? And so diabetes mellitus is one of the things we do see in both our dogs and our cats. We have seen it more in veterinary medicine as we have seen it more in people as Americans, as we have basically, we love through food, and we give food, and we give lots of food, and some of it's not highly nutritious food. And so wanted to touch base about trying to reduce diabetes and what are signs to monitor for, okay? So similar to humans, diabetes in dogs and cats occurs more frequently in animals that are overweight. And the reason being is that there are certain chemical messengers that are released by the body and by our fat hormones that can cause basically insulin to not be as effective in our body and in our pet's body. And so they may be trying to produce insulin, but their body doesn't respond to it. Or sometimes they can actually end up developing pancreatitis, which can actually destroy the pancreas. And the pancreas is responsible for secreting insulin and monitoring our blood sugars. And so one of the things that we worry about in our overweight pets is diabetes, okay? So what are the clinical signs that you should monitor for and be watchful for with diabetes? Well, the first thing is we want to make sure that our pets are at a healthy weight, okay? That's the number one fighting tool we have. And so if you have an overweight pet, you need to be concerned about diabetes and definitely be keeping an eye out for certain things. And so the specific things you would want to watch for is excessive hunger, so more so than we had been previously, weight loss despite being hungry. So maybe you have noted that your pet seems to be losing weight, but they are just eating a ton and you cannot figure out how to keep the weight on them. Well, it may be that they have something internally going on like diabetes, okay? Other things you might want to watch out for is accidents in the house, okay? So maybe your pet is pottying in the house when for years they weren't. They're completely trained and all of a sudden you're not sure what's going on, but they're having accidents in the house or they're drinking a lot. So if we're drinking a lot, if we're urinating a lot more frequently, even if it's not we're having accidents in the house, but they're asking to go out to the bathroom more frequently, yes, that can be a sign of other urine issues like stones or urinary tract infections, but it may be a sign of diabetes in a pet that is overweight. And so those are the three classic signs you want to watch for: is excessive hunger, excessive urinating, and excessive drinking. Those are all tall tale signs of diabetes, okay? Now, what should you do if you suspect your pet has diabetes? The best thing to do is to take your pet to your veterinarian, okay? Go through the symptoms and the signs that you're seeing at home. Be sure to communicate about diabetes, and then they're probably going to recommend a series of diagnostics tests looking for diabetes, but there are things that can mimic diabetes such as hyperthyroid disease, kidney disease, Cushing's disease, and so they're going to recommend doing a panel of things looking to screen for those different diseases, and once they kind of see that, they may recommend more specific tests for confirmation on the different things so they can make sure your pet gets the right treatment, okay? Now, what do you do once your pet has been diagnosed with diabetes, okay? Depending on the severity of it, your pet may be required to go on insulin. Sometimes in some pets we can control the amounts of insulin so we don't have to give as high a dose with diet. That can help. And always, 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 we want to make sure to get our pets at the specific lean weight that they're supposed to be. And so it may be that your pet has had diabetes and it lost a bunch of weight because it wasn't detected. And so now your pet is underweight. And so maybe your veterinarian may talk to you specifically about a diet that bring down the blood sugars, but it's also going to help your pet get back to a healthy weight. If your pet is already overweight, your veterinarian is going to talk to you about a diet that's going to help regulate the blood sugars as well as get them down to a healthy weight to try to help the body work as hard. Okay, and so the treatment very much depends on the severity and the specific individual. And so your veterinarian is going to be the best one to talk to you about that. And decide what type of insulin your pet should be on and so forth, because there's many different types of insulin. Now, what's one of the best things you can do to prevent diabetes? It's something I already mentioned here, as we've talked about with humans. People that are overweight are more predisposed to diabetes. Pets that are overweight are more predisposed to diabetes. And so we need to make sure that we're keeping our pets at a healthy weight. Yes, food is love, but guess what? Petting your pet, spending time with them, playing with them is also love. And that is a better way to show them love because it's not going to put them in a position where they're overweight as much. Making sure that you take them on a routine exercise basis. For dogs, that may mean you walk them 10 to 15 minutes twice a day. Instead of giving treats, you're giving Pets for Love. If you absolutely have to give a treat, use frozen green beans, okay? They're really high in fiber, low in carbohydrates, okay? And they work excellent for dogs. It's just weird enough that your dog will like it, okay? You may need to talk to your veterinarian about a specific diet to help them lose weight, okay? There's different things that can affect weight in pets, just like there's different things in humans. And so sometimes they need to have specific things to help increase their metabolism and get things going. Depending on your veterinary office, your veterinarian may even have conditioning programs. That's something we offer here at Cornerstone Animal Hospital for pets that are overweight. We realize that your schedules are busy and you just don't always have time to take them out. Get out. And so we have an underwater treadmill here that we can exercise your pets in to help them lose weight. And walking and running through the water actually increases their metabolism, and it basically helps them to where they're not having to bear as much weight, so they want to move better. Okay, dogs that are overweight, I've talked about before, are very predisposed to arthritis, and they're very painful. And so putting them in the underwater treadmill not only increases their endurance and helps them lose weight, but it helps build lean muscle mass, and it's easier for them to walk because they're not bearing as much weight. Just think about if you were to walk in water. Okay, when you walk in water, you don't bear as much weight either. And so it works your muscles in a different way to help promote that lean muscle weight and to speed their metabolism up. And so we offer here. But talk to your primary veterinarian and find out what is best for your specific pet. Okay, each pet is different and they need a tailored plan. And so those are the things to watch for with diabetes. Again, it's one of those, November is National Pet Diabetes Month, but as we're going to the holidays, be really careful and mindful of what you're giving your pets. Okay, I know it's so easy to give them a little bit of turkey leftovers or anything like that, and that can lead to pancreatitis. That's something we talked about previously. Many of the foods that we eat around the holidays are toxic to our pets, and so we don't want to give them because they're toxic, but it also raises concerns for diabetes and being overweight, and so wanted to address those. If you have questions or comments, be sure to drop them below. For everyone that's watching right now, hello, good to see you. Thanks for watching, and I will plan on seeing you guys next week. All right, bye-bye.